Hi everyone. Today we are here with Jordan, who is a postgraduate student from University of California Irvine. She has done her bachelor's from Occidental College in Pasadena, right in Los Angeles, and she also worked in Caltech, California University of
Institute of Technology.
Yeah, California Institute of Technology, one of the big names. Let's talk to her today. She loves mixed martial arts. Let's see how she navigates her life with her postgraduate studies. Jordan, tell us something about yourself.
Hi, thank you for having me. I grew up in California. I was born in Chicago. That's where my family comes from. But I grew up in California, kind of like a mountain area, a lot of wildlife nearby, a lot of nature. So I think that had a big influence on me and my interests. I'm now studying neuroscience at UCI as a first-year PhD student. My research focuses on it's like group social behavior, animal communication.
Oh, animal communication. Okay, how do you define animal communication? I mean, are you studying how the animals are communicating with each other? Or, what's the science behind it? I mean, there must be something,
Yeah, we're studying how they communicate with one another in a sort of a naturalistic social environment. So rats communicate in ultrasound, and we use specialized ultrasound microphones to record them because it's out of our hearing range. So we have this big colony that's meant to sort of simulate their natural habitat. And we kind of let them do their thing and take like this big data approach to basically right now just correlating vocal signals with behavior and using different statistical methods to sort of dissect the structure in the signal and their vocal signal.
Oh, that's interesting. So which animals are you working with? Sorry, I didn't catch that. Rats. So they communicate with, I thought only, what was it? I think the bats used to do, I mean, they were ultrasonic.
I think that was a general, I think I will let Jordan speak, but I think that was a general idea until like they just put it because I think the supervisor had an idea. He was like, how are they like jumping around at night? Because they're nocturnal animals. So there's no light and then I think he just
very poor vision.
Yeah. Especially the ones that are used in the labs have very poor vision. So it's like he didn't know. It's like how are they communicating? And then we found out that there are like some vocalizations and like I think the previous work was like only 2 type of vocalization. Her work is like more on like more complex type of vocalizations, right?
Right.
That's interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
Is used. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Ultrasound is used by a lot of animals throughout the animal kingdom. Even cats and dogs can hear into the ultrasound range, so it's widely used.
Right. I never imagined that rats would be using ultrasound. I mean, I get it. I mean, we don't know much about nature as such, not me at least. I mean, you guys are experts. I have no idea about these things. So that's interesting. So what got you into neuroscience? I mean, that's a tough subject. Not many Americans, if you meet them on the street and you would ask them what do they want to do, they would pick, I want to be a neuroscientist. How?
I didn't always know I wanted to do it. When I entered my undergraduate studies, I began with studying Russian and international relations. So that's where my interests were at the time. But I didn't see a future in international relations, I guess, and I was taking some classes. I took a neuroscience class and I really liked it. And it aligned with my previous interests in biology and the natural world. So
that's interesting. I mean, if you were studying international relationships with Russia right now, you might have an opening right there where I am. So DC would have welcomed you with their open arms and you would have been an ambassador to Russia by now. Who knows?
Maybe. I think with Russia, there's always going to be some work. So
yeah, especially with the guy who's running the country right now. So
Putin.
But not political.
No. He's trying to filter with the world.
Yeah, we don't say names here. We just talk in code names, mostly. Yeah, we talk in code because
sure.
Yeah, you never know what they're come up next. Who knows? Mavish might be on a flight back to Pakistan, so we don't want that.
Even though Mavish believes in her skills and she can probably survive anywhere, it's Burrow we are more worried about.
Yeah. So that's that's how it is. So you go into this. I mean, it's a complicated field, right?
Yeah,
So you have to
definitely.
be a good student for it. I mean, you must have aced your GRE scores and stuff like that.
So we don't have to take GRE
Oh, yeah.
anymore. But
Oh.
No, it's coming back. It was
it's
like
coming
during the
back.
COVID days, they thought they were
Really?
like, because like everything stopped and everything, so they were like, the universities were like, we don't want GRE, but now they're going
Really?
back to GRE again because
Yes.
everything became so competitive and the fundings are getting cut, so it's back to GRE.
Yeah.
Really?
I think all these tests also bring money to the universities.
Okay.
Well, I mean, during the COVID days, the situation was that they didn't have any students applying even. So
Yeah.
they exempted people from giving GRE if you had done a bachelor's or if you had done a master's, just apply.
Okay.
That's about it. Get your degrees verified and if this let you, you're free to go. I call it the golden years because
Yeah.
nobody had to give any tests. But now it's back, I guess. So, oh well, that's how it
Yeah.
is.
I'm glad I didn't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you took, so you were into, you just mentioned, outdoor activities and stuff like that. So what are you into? Mavish mentioned that you were into, mixed martial arts. Do you
Yeah,
like beating people up or something? I mean,
I was like consensual violence.
okay, consensual violence. Okay.
Maybe I can share a video where she's beating me up.
We don't want to see that. Nobody
And
wants
also,
to see that.
You're the one who came in and it was like, I can beat you.
Yeah,
with a
I think
fight.
it was Hayden who waked me up. He's like, "Oh, of course, if you fight her, you're definitely gonna win." So I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm sure. You're so strong." And I was like, "I think I can beat her." So I went there. I was like, "Hey, I think I can beat you." And she's like, "Really? You think so?"
Yeah.
It really hurt me. I was injured that day.
Yeah, I mean,
Your pride, maybe.
so what got you into mixed martial arts?
Yeah, so I do Muay Thai specifically. It's
Okay.
a form of kickboxing from Thailand.
Right.
So I started boxing when I was like 14 years old, and that spurred my interest in martial arts. I wrestled a bit in high school, and then after college, I moved more from boxing to Muay Thai. I love martial arts. It's a great community.
Yeah.
I love the challenge. I love the way it pushes you. It brings like
Right.
discipline and like sort of drive and purpose to one's life as well.
That's interesting. I mean, because back home in countries like Pakistan, I don't see girls doing any sort of martial arts forms.
Yeah.
Sports only studies are are an option over there. Sports are very secondary over there. So so it's just fascinating to see how things pan out over here, where girls are given equal opportunities to go through the field. I mean, this is something that you will not see in Pakistan, at least, or any other subcontinental country. So that's interesting. So how many guys have you beat up? I mean, I want to know the figures. I mean, genuine figures. I mean, did you ever get into it like, except Mavish, I mean, we
She's got great discipline, I think. She does. I really wish she would beat up at least one of the guys we have in the lab, but she's really calm. She's like calm waters,
Yeah.
you're calm before the storm.
Yeah,
So,
I
Right.
wish that storm comes and one of them, at least one of them.
I'm trying to get you, Maywish, to train with me so I can teach you the ways. And You can check out some of the fingers.
someday. I want to ask you. I think one of the things that, especially we struggle with is like, how do you manage the stress of the research work with your, I know you do cooking and you do martial arts and you do a lot of things. You love your animals. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, balance can be difficult for sure. You end up like working a lot of late nights and I kind of get pigeonholed. So it's hard, but fitness, just being outside and being active. I have a little dog as well. He's a great stress relief. So just the little things, I guess. Just taking care of one's body, spending time with people you love, whether it be humans or dogs or your birds,
yeah. So, well, that's the body aspect of it. What about the mental aspect? How do you
The
keep
mental?
yourself from, sciences can be stressful, and there's a feeling you can get is like, I'm feeling burnt out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, how do you cope with that? I mean, neurosciences, I read the word neurosciences and I'm like, nope, not me. I barely got through bachelor's. I cannot do sciences again. So, how do you manage that? Like,
Honestly, the physical aspect is a big part. My mental health and my general well-being is so much better when I work out. It's like a form of meditation almost, like an active meditation. It has like great impacts on your mental well-being. Other than that, I think being in nature is really important. I forget to do it sometimes, but like, I don't, when I'm outside, you're like surrounded by some greenery and you can hear birds sing. It brings some peace.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I guess that works because
I think a lot of us forget that. Sometimes, like, I go out and I'm like, oh, I've been like busy with work so much that there are days I don't even go out and look at the sky.
Yeah.
And how beautiful it is and how calming it is for you.
Yeah. I think we students are, especially in the bachelor, where we come from, the aspect of feeling burned out is so high because the studies are so stressful.
Yeah.
They don't have this, something they can, just go out and just unwind and do something else other than, worrying about studies and stuff like that. Probably things are changing back home. I'm not even sure how they're doing and managing it right now. But yeah, I think balancing it is the key thing over here. How do you keep it balanced? So yeah. That's it. So you do, are you guys doing a lot of live experiments and stuff like that?
Yeah, so my studies, it involves more like freely behaving animals.
Right.
Not like a naturalistic setting. Later on, we want to probe the brains, put some electrodes in there, and record from them as they freely behave. My colleague, Hayden, he does a lot of surgeries.
Oh,
the other part of the lab does a lot of stroke work. So that's like very intensive experiments. Which makes
so I can put you in that category that you're a person who loves nature. Can I do that? So if I do that, how do you reconcile, that aspect with animal experiments? People hear about animal experiments, they just think about, the cosmetic companies that do those experiments, and we have seen all. Yeah. So, there's an ethical aspect to it.
Yeah.
So, how do you keep yourself like, okay, what I'm doing is worth it? Or how do you frame it?
Yeah, it's difficult for sure. I think some of the work I do, it's a bit easier in that regard to reconcile because like these animals aren't stuck in cages compared to a lot of lab animals. Like they're in this like a room-sized habitat. And they live in a colony, and it's a pretty good life, like relative to most lab animals. So, like that aspect, it makes it easier. But in terms of like actually doing surgeries and these more invasive experiments, it's definitely something I've struggled with. But unfortunately, it's still necessary. Like I feel that generally we're still quite shallow in the knowledge that we have, but we've seen the great benefits of medical science. The benefits it has on humanity as a whole, and these types of studies are still necessary to improve people's well-being.
So in an age of disinformation that we're living in, we've seen it recently, when everything has gone upside down. It started with COVID, anti-vaxxers. I still cannot believe they have a seat in this world where their voices are heard, but it's happening. So how do you reconcile with, you're trying to do something which will benefit the common folks, and the common folks instead put it as unnecessary, unneeded, anti-science stances that they have right now? How do you see it? What's your opinion upon it?
It's very frustrating. Yeah, it's frustrating. I get quite maybe fed up sometimes. Like I need to take a break, but I don't know. There's only so much we can all do as individuals. Like I'm not going to be able to change all their opinions. So I think to some extent we have to accept our powerlessness in that regard. Like we have to reconcile ourselves with the fact that we cannot control what everyone thinks.
That's how it is, but there must be something you feel like doing. You do mixed martial arts.
Don't bring her to violence. You're like trying to brainwash her into that. It's like, hey, martial arts.
70% of the people, if you have looked at the stats in America right now, they can't read properly. Around 50% of the 10th graders, they can't read.
It's horrible, yeah. And then I think
those people are going to go ahead and give their opinion on things that they don't understand.
And the internet amplifies all this, the way information spreads, and the way like these feedback loops with the algorithms, and like the more people that like are attracted to this information, the further it spreads.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know what to do about it.
nobody does. I think that's a problem right now. Flat earthers. I mean, there are people who believe Earth is flat. What?
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2025, and we still have. I think media is to be blamed for that as well. They give them the voice to come over, sit there, and give an opinion on it. Hello, dog. How are you doing? Sorry, I didn't catch his name.
Astro.
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 All right, Astro. Is that from the video game Astro?
No, but when I got him as a puppy, I imagine it was like a little space dog.
All right, that's quite a wild way to look at it. Space dog. Okay, that's nice. So, yeah, I've lost my chain of thought right now.
I have a question for you, Jordan. So, there are people who are working on neuroscience, but they're like trying to understand more about how, the neurodegenerative diseases. How do you see your, animal communication bringing any, I can answer it myself, but obviously I want to ask you, how do you think it can bring benefit to people trying to find out about this? How can it benefit other people? Where people do not even, people need their things that are necessary to them. How do they see this as something worth, doing? Or why would they care about animals and how they're vocalizing and stuff? How do you think it's something that is beneficial?
I think one of the strengths of this approach lies in creating a more naturalistic model of animal behavior. Because the idea behind this is to study animals in the context that they were evolved to be in. So most neuroscience, most biology is on caged animals, which has many practical benefits. It's a lot easier, it's cheaper, and things like this. But I mean, to some extent, these are already pathological animals because they've grown up in a cage. And this is going to have all sorts of effects on their biology, on their brains. Imagine if some aliens came to Earth, kidnapped some humans, raised us in cages and experimented on us and said, this is how humans actually are. No, that would be a completely pathological human because the human wasn't raised in conditions that are natural to him or her. And the same is kind of true for rats or mice. So animals raised in cages are already going to be more susceptible to certain conditions when you take them out of these cages and put them in a more natural environment. Several studies have already demonstrated that this makes them more robust against, or stronger against diseases. And that a lot of disease pathologies will, in some senses, just vanish when they're taken from the cages to the natural environment. So by putting them in this environment, we can create more realistic models of disease.
Okay, do you see yourself talking back to the rats using the vocalizations you record?
In ultrasound?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know how to vocalize an ultrasound.
You've seen with their studies where they played the the whales their songs and they were able to hear back and something. So it's like you recorded, you studied, and they played back, and then you heard. It's the start of a communication, which could be great if we could do that with the animals.
I think they did that with the dolphins, right? They did that experiment with the dolphins. I read about it. Well, those are dolphins. They're cooler. I mean, if you have to have that superpower with rats,
rats are not dumb either. We do underappreciate them a lot. They are pretty smart as well.
They're very intelligent.
Yeah, they're very intelligent, very adaptable, and they are much better than us in terms of resistance to a lot of pathogens and stuff like that too. So
they're one of the most successful mammals on Earth. Wherever humans are, there's also rats.
Yeah,
they're
and
extremely
cockroaches.
Successful.
And cockroaches. Never forget cockroaches.
Yeah,
I mean, we have the different. This is something I wanted. I don't know if it's an observation. We have different kind of a cockroach back home. They're not the kind that you see over here. They're they are the flying type.
Oh.
Yeah, they're the scary ones. I mean, they fly and they're
and they don't want to avoid you. They want to come at you flying. They're disgusting.
That's terrifying.
If there is anything I want geneticists to do, I want them to do something to the genes where the cockroaches can go extinct. I wish.
They're trying to do that with mosquitoes.
Yeah, and cockroaches. It should be like cockroaches should be added to the
Yeah, with the mosquitoes, that's a technique they use in, I think, Sri Lanka, because they have a lot of that dengue fever over there.
Yeah.
So basically, they introduce that whatever form it is, and it neutralizes. They cannot reproduce after that.
Yeah.
I think they started doing that in Pakistan as well. And as temperatures rise all across the globe, dengue will become prevalent in America as well. It will come. It always will.
Yeah.
So Florida, those areas, it will rise like this. Literally,
Right.
I was reading a projection of it. That's how it's going to go. So yeah, I mean, if you guys can do something about it now, that would be great.
That's not our thing, but I wish somebody would do that. That's my message to the world out there. It's like, if
So
you're
you
working
guys can't grant me superpowers at all? I mean,
I don't care what cockroaches do for like conservation or this. I just
I don't care about cockroaches. I want superpowers. I mean, you guys tinker with the brain. I mean, do something.
What superpowers do you want?
I don't Professor X from X-Men, that would be great. Reading them, controlling the mind, that would be great. We need that right now.
Yeah, I think Elon Musk is working on that. Don't worry.
Again, names. I mean,
Oh, I would be happy to hear me saying that, but they're doing it.
you still have
Well,
to take your oath, Mavish. I've done. You still have to do it. So be careful.
Yeah.
I just said he's working on it. What's
Oh, it's true. He would be honored by this.
Yeah, of
he-
course. I mean, he's going to listen to our 200 people podcast. Yeah.
Is that? Never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Hi, Elon. I mean, right. So, okay. All right. So, Jordan, this isn't going to be a silly question. What do you know about rest of the world? How do you picture it?
This is a broad question.
It's a very broad question. But
Let's consider what do you think about Pakistan?
how
Pakistan.
Yeah, because
you
we are from
invited me
Pakistan,
there.
so what would you think about, life in a third world country?
I would have liked to go to Pakistan with you if it were possible.
Yeah.
You invited me.
You like hiking?
I
like
love
hiking?
hiking.
Go to
Yeah, I
Pakistan.
know you have beautiful nature. You have like K2, and you're right up
Yeah.
against the Himalayas.
Yeah, three ranges connect at one spot.
Yeah.
You can stand over there, so you can see three different ranges: Himalayas. What else is there? Karakoram, and the third one is I can't remember the third name.
Hindu
So
Kush.
Too.
Hindu Kush.
Hindu Kush, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
three of them connect at one spot. It's a
Right.
beautiful place. It's not developed, so
Yeah.
you actually, in some places, you travel on dirt roads where you'll see proper landslides and everything. It's a unique place on Earth, but yeah.
We do have power outages as well. Heat is really
Yeah.
bad during summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we not have? It's a question you should ask.
What? We don't have electricity,
And water, clean water.
clean water,
Yes.
electricity.
We can make a
natural-
list over here. We'll start ranting over here. We don't want to do that.
Okay, what do you think would be the state of women outside US? How do you ever think about that?
What is the
Yeah,
state
Do
of
you ever
women
think
in
about
the
how
US
lucky,
right now?
how lucky you are?
Yeah, of course. I know. Of course, there are some attacks on women's rights currently in the U.S.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
yes, women in the West generally occupy a privileged position in the world.
Yeah.
Like compared to women in countries where they're not granted the same rights, the same freedom, independence, opportunities.
So how do you where do you see yourself from 5 years from now? Will we be seeing you with a Nobel Prize?
If we're talking to rats, probably not.
Well, if you start talking to rats, literally they will give you
Yeah.
the world,
Yeah, I mean, if you can have the back and forth communication.
Yeah, maybe the rats will give me.
You can start your own religion. I mean, imagine people seeing you talking to. That's how. I don't want to say it out loud, but that's how things start.
I think they'll just think I'm insane, but
All right. Okay.
we'll see. I don't know what the world will look like in 5 years.
Yeah. Let's hope it looks slightly better than it is right now.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Jordan, what is it's a silly question, but I want to ask still. You've tried a lot of Pakistani cuisines. Which one do you like the best?
Oh, like what specific dish?
Yeah.
Oh, I like vindaloo.
Vindaloo.
Vindaloo is
Yeah.
Indian. It's not Pakistani.
Okay, it's
but-
Indian.
Yeah.
Okay, what are... I'm not sure of all the distinctions between the cuisines.
There shouldn't be any because if we do our DNA test, I have 20% Indian DNA, Indian side that they call India right now. So Mavish would have the same number as well. So yeah, but the cuisine over there is like, it changes everywhere.
Yeah, I think
It's-
like different parts of India as
Yeah.
well, it changes a lot.
It changes
Right.
a lot, yeah.
There are certain because India is so big, so like different
Right.
states have different, and like even in Pakistan, where like different states have very
Right.
different cuisines as well,
And languages.
And
A lot of
Yeah.
languages.
and
Uh,
culture kind of,
Yeah.
and the values.
So Mavish cannot speak her native language.
I can, he cannot.
No,
I
she
can
can.
speak Punjabi.
No, you can't.
Chadiya.
Just a few sentences. That's
No.
all she can do. So
No.
yeah, growing up, we used to. I mean, I think we had 4 languages. That is something that you don't. I mean, in America, it's mostly in certain areas it's Mexican and American English, but not that many languages as well. That's
No. At
So,
least we're not taught many languages.
Oh, I can tell you, if you go to Pakistan, the cuisine is really good.
Yeah.
Food is really good back home,
Oh,
and also
I'm
the
sure.
clothes. They're really good.
Yeah, and
I love the
Yeah,
clothes.
you have beautiful clothing.
Yeah, and the jewelry as well.
Yeah, you brought me back some jewelry.
Yeah,
And you always have such beautiful jewelry and clothing.
yeah.
yeah, those are some of the good things still left back home. So, Jordan, any plans on traveling the world?
I would love to. I haven't traveled very much, but I would love to. There's so much of the world I would like to see.
So, do you have a bucket list? Things that you want to
Oh.
do before you turn like 35 or 40? I don't know your age.
I'm
So,
25 already, but
so you're 25. Oh God, I'm ancient.
Yeah,
Oh
getting
boy.
old.
Oh boy.
yeah,
So anything like
Yep.
what's on your bucket list? I mean,
like
these are the
places I'd
things.
like to see.
Yeah.
I have a few trips in mind. I would love to see the Himalayas, see Nepal. I'd like to travel through like East Asia into Southeast Asia.
Oh yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
they're very different as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to visit the Mediterranean countries.
Which one?
Let's see, Italy, Greece. Go to Turkey. Go into the Middle East. Countries along the Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah.
Those are some of the big trips I have in
Big
mind.
trips.
Another one is the Borneo and Sumatra. This is where orangutans are. I'm a very big fan of this animal.
Oh, they're also there in Malaysia. So you're going to go to Malaysia. They had
yeah.
Yeah.
Orangutans.
Yeah.
I think they're on the islands. They're on Borneo and Sumatra.
Yeah, but I think when I went to Malaysia, like their zoos, they had orangutans as well.
Oh, there's zoos. Yeah, I would love to see them in the wild.
Yeah, I think like there's a lot of jungle there as well still.
Yeah.
So
Plus
But
they're
it's threatened, unfortunately.
Plus the temples and every place in India and other places, monkeys are they're pretty common, and you'll see
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
them.
yeah,
We used to have them, but not anymore.
we
back
used to have
home.
monkeys in Malaysia in our university. I used to feed them. My husband never really liked it, but I always did.
Yeah.
I
Oh, yes.
so many things there. And they were like also burning it left and right to make all those,
These rainforests are very endangered.
Yeah, yeah.
They're being cleared.
You
Right.
missed Africa.
Yeah,
An animal
I
lover
would
who missed his
like to go to Africa. Like
Yeah.
So-
Serengeti.
So that's the whole world basically, except Antarctica and Arctic. So
I
would
think
like
the
to do
Africa
this
trip was like me and Jordan were deciding to do it, and then we're going to retire into a farm where she's going to look at the animals and I'm going to love them.
Yeah, I'll do the work if you just
Yeah.
love them.
I can do some of the work, just
Okay.
not the poop. And
Okay, I'll deal with the poop.
yeah, I can wash them, I can feed them, love them, take them on walks.
yeah, not happening, but sure.
Negativity.
No, it's not happening. I know.
Why?
First, you'll have to go to Africa, buy a piece of land over there.
No,
Even-
it can be bought over here.
Yeah,
You're
don't-
gonna
we
bring
don't-
Africa over here.
No, we just want to farm with some animals. The
Oh, okay.
We're gonna visit.
African animals. Like at least one cow, a goat. I love goats. They're so cute. They are so cute. You know,
I
we
grew
have
up with
very
that,
cute.
so
sorry.
I grew up with those things.
Yeah.
They're cute. Yeah,
And I wanted
They
chicken.
have big personalities, goats.
Yeah.
They're
yeah, they hit you pretty hard.
Stubborn.
They
Ooh.
hit you pretty hard. Goats.
No, if they don't like you, if you disturb
No.
them, no, they're not
It's a
that.
goat.
They're good.
Okay, I basically lived on in such a situation, so I have a bit of an idea on how it works. Like chickens are a menace to clean. They're not fun to clean at all. I mean, they're smelly and, it's not fun. Plus, if you have a few of them will fight with you also. So you have to be very vigilant in front of them, But it's interesting. It's fun to live around them as a kid. But I don't know if I would like to do that as a grown-up. So it's a different kind of a thing to do.
Okay, Jordan, there's another question that just came to my mind when you mentioned it. I see something that I don't see. There's a major difference between what I see in Pakistan and kids over here. You guys are very independent in terms of like you guys start driving really like early in your life, and then every time we get kids, even if we get kids who are like really like they come from spoiled backgrounds or whatever, but whenever they come to the lab, they were ready to work. Like, they were ready to work, and like they wouldn't complain as compared to kids back home at our age, even ourselves. We were like not that independent on like, like cooking and cleaning, looking after yourselves. What age do you guys start doing that? And is it because everyone in your house is doing it, or that's why? Or
many people in the US start driving around 16 years old. I think this is the age of your teenage years. They start gaining more independence. I would say around then. And then after you move out, a lot of people move out around 18, especially to go to college or to work. So that's kind of your first real test. You have to pay rent. You have to buy your own groceries, get your own gas, all of these things.
What is this thing about like moving out at 18? It's like especially common in like, white people. I want to ask, like, is there like an agreement or an understanding, or what is it that you guys like, that you have to move out? What if you stay, or if your parents want you?
I think more people are staying with their parents longer now, especially due to financial situations. One, college is the major thing. People move out to go to college. A lot of people will return home after college as they're like trying to set up their adult life, set up their careers. But I know it's far more common in America and some Westerns for people to move out at an earlier age.
Yeah.
I want to say there was that expectation. It's not in my family, but it's just the way
like for us, we cannot, the guys at least, the girls are like given out, and then once they're given out, they're gone. But like for guys, it's more like they have to stay with their mothers and parents. Like, they're an asset on which their parents have worked on. So they...
Yeah, we have a hierarchy system. Basically, we're still trying to get out of it. The eldest one has to take care of the parents first. He gets the first in, and he's expected to, take care of them and everything. Then the second one, if they're like 3, then the third one or the fourth one. We have big families over there. Yeah. So, Asian parents, they teach you 2 things, saving and taking care of your parents. Those are the 2 lessons that you hear from them. Save as much as you can and take care of your parents. So it's kind of a cultural thing. I think it goes back to America being that, everybody is independent.
No, it's just a discussion as to like what you would think. And like there's a common belief that we take care of our parents, but you guys don't take care of your parents.
Yeah,
or like
I think that's...
What do you think about that? Do you think your parents become alone or like lonely or something?
I think in the West there is like a problem with like elderly loneliness. It's a documented health crisis, actually. But I think one thing is that people move across the country, so it's harder for people to take care of their parents in the long term. But I know when my grandma got sick, she had Alzheimer's, she came to live with us. So people still do.
Yeah, I think it's probably stems from outside the world. Outside America, the world perceives America in a very different manner.
Yeah.
Either they have a positive perception of some things, but a lot of negative. For Asians, the biggest negative would be, they don't take care of their elders.
Yeah.
It's a very big thing over there. And they have old homes, they throw them over there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the kind of, like at 18, they want you to be independent. It's something like they have ingrained in you in America that everybody is an independent. He has control of his own life. So that is one thing that is ingrained over here. And over there, it's all dependency. People are dependent on each other. families are dependent on each other. Parents are dependent on children because they don't have retirement plan back home. Unless you're from a super rich family, you'll have a retirement plan. If you not, you don't have a retirement plan. Your retirement plan is your kids. So yeah, in Pakistan, you don't even have old homes. I mean, it's something that you see over here. I find them scary because they're milking a lot of money over here. But
they're making a lot of money for all the healthcare over here. That's a normal thing. You know, anything health related or something taking care. It's
our healthcare system is it's not great here.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want socialist policies over here, so no free healthcare for everyone. It's evil.
Communist.
Yeah. Well, Mavish is a dictator, so you know.
Yeah, dictator doctor.
Yeah, that's how she is. That's how. Yeah. All right. Jordan, it was lovely talking to you. Mavish, do you have anything else to add or subtract, cut?
No. Thank you, Jordan. You came. We talked to you. It's lovely having. I always feel like back in Pakistan or here, like people from here do not know what happens there. You know, there's like a lot of things people don't know, and like people back there also do not know a lot of things. We're all just at the end of the humans with the same kind of feelings and complexities in the life. There's one sort of unhappiness or something that people are facing in one type of country, and in the other type of countries there will be other things and other issues and other stuff. Just wanted to have you to see how a postgraduate student, you know, manages their life. You know, you're alone. You know, you're also like away from family, but you manage it really nice and well. So just wanted to talk to you about that.
Well, I hope next time if we ever talk, you have beaten someone up by then. You know,
she
all
does
those
professional wrestling. She does that.
That's
she
not
does so
professional.
Like she goes and have her fights.
There are rules over there.
Yeah, she had
but there are rules over there. There are rules over there. You're fighting with rules over there.
So you want me to fight someone on the street?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Let's go to Virginia and beat him up.
Well, it's just an 8-hour flight.
Like, it's a lot of effort.
It's a lot of effort. I mean, you could spend that money, hire someone, and beat him up.
She said it takes a lot of effort to beat someone up.
Well, like, especially if you're gonna fly there. Just to beat them up.
8 hours flight on American airplanes.
It's a lot of money too. Like,
you guys have
it's not just American airplanes. It's just airplanes in generally everywhere are like Airbuses now. They're the worst.
You're so cramped in. The seats become smaller.
I think it's like even if it's an hour-long flight or. It's so bad. You have to be at the airport. You have to go through all that security. You have to do this and that, and it takes so much time. And then you're like up, and like it's so bad. I just like hate being.
I love their presentation when they declare we are giving 1 more inch for leg space.
Exactly.
1 inch for my legs. Thank you. I guess I don't know what to. I mean, it's just insane. I mean, and especially in America, the airports are like
everywhere.
No,
I've been in other places as well.
The Middle East has very good airports, at least, and airlines. The food is better.
They like started now, and that's why. But you will see
now it's like 40 years now. I mean, now is 40 years.
I don't know. Maybe they have money, and they have money. You know, it's like it's just coming, and they're trying to spend it. But generally, everywhere else, it's really, really bad. And the planes are like buses down. They're so bad.
People get surprised when they land over here and see the airports over here because people have an image of America that if
from the 60s.
From the 60s maybe, or whatever they watch on the sitcoms and everything. Half the world thinks everybody's drunk and driving.
I think we're like here. Generally when I came to US, I was like we watched like a lot of these Terminator or like Transformer kind of like we're like huge robots, things are being transformed. We are like, oh, that's US. We came here, we saw homelessness, and we're like, okay, maybe not that great as it was shown. And then we started seeing all those problems and everything. And
why would America have Transformers? It's a Japanese thing, Transformers.
No, but those movies, remember?
Yeah, Transformers originated from Japan. Japan loves their mechas.
From here, from Hollywood.
Why? Why Transformers?
I'm just giving you what is wrong with you. Never mind. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you for
having me.
Thank you for joining us. It's lovely having you. Bye.
Right. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.